The world runs on oil, but oil isn't just energy. It's power, it's politics, and it's the foundation of a global empire built not on gold, but on the US dollar, half a century ago. One secret deal changed the world forever, creating a system where money, oil, and influence became one. This is the story of oil and dollar politics, the invisible war that shaped our modern world. In the early 1970s, America was in crisis. The Vietnam War had drained its economy. Inflation was soaring, and the dollar was losing its strength. Back then, the US dollar was tied to gold. Every dollar represented a fixed amount of gold stored in American reserves. But as the country printed more and more money to fund wars and social programs, the balance broke. In 1971, President Richard Nixon made a bold decision. He ended the gold standard. The dollar was no longer backed by gold. For the first time in modern history, America's currency was based on nothing but faith and influence. The world panicked. Countries no longer trusted the US dollar, and its value began to collapse. America needed a new way to keep the dollar strong. That's when a new strategy emerged, one that would connect the dollar to the most valuable resource on Earth, oil. In 1974, the United States made a secret agreement with Saudi Arabia, the largest oil producer in the world. The deal was simple, yet brilliant. The US would provide military protection and advanced weapons to Saudi Arabia. In return, the Saudis agreed to sell their oil only in US dollars. This was the birth of the petrodollar system. From that moment, if any country wanted to buy oil, they needed US dollars. Whether it was Japan, Germany, or India, everyone had to trade in dollars. Suddenly, global demand for the dollar skyrocketed. Nations began storing vast reserves of dollars just to buy energy. And America, it gained the ultimate advantage. It could print more dollars, and the world would still need them. The US didn't just control its own economy anymore, it controlled the global economy. Oil made the dollar powerful, and the dollar made America unstoppable. But not everyone was happy with this system. Some nations wanted independence from US control. And history shows when they tried, the consequences were brutal. In 2000, Saddam Hussein decided that Iraq would start selling its oil in euros instead of dollars. 3 years later, Iraq was invaded. In 2009, Muammar Gaddafi proposed creating a gold-backed African currency that could challenge the dollar. Soon after, his regime was destroyed. Coincidence? Maybe, but the pattern is hard to ignore. Any threat to the petrodollar system has often been met with chaos, war, or political collapse. For decades, the petrodollar kept America at the center of world power. It allowed the US to borrow endlessly, print money without collapse, and maintain global military dominance. While other countries traded goods and resources, America traded its currency, and everyone accepted it. But today, that power is starting to fade. A new world order is emerging. China and Russia are leading the charge, forming alliances through the BRICS nations Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa to trade oil and goods without using the US dollar. Saudi Arabia, once America's closest oil ally, is now openly trading with China in yuan. Even major energy producers like Iran and Venezuela have abandoned the petrodollar. Bit by bit, the system that once made America rich and powerful is beginning to crack. So what happens if oil stops being traded in US dollars? The global demand for dollars will fall. America's debt, already in the trillions, will become harder to manage. Inflation could rise, and the dollar's dominance could fade, replaced by new systems backed by gold, digital currencies, or regional trade blocs. The next great global conflict might not be fought with weapons, but with currencies. A financial war between East and West, between the old empire of the petrodollar and the new challengers of the multipolar world. Because whoever controls oil controls the economy, but whoever controls the currency of oil controls the future. For nearly 50 years, oil built America's empire and kept its dollar untouchable. But as the world changes, as new powers rise and alliances shift, one question remains. When the oil stops flowing in dollars, who will rule the world next?